Welcome. It's the cats. Yo, we on iHeartRadio and we on Facebook Live
Many
many
a
a
times.
times, and we here ready to let the cat out the bag.
Meow.
Rah, rah, rah. Man, you know what? Let me tell you guys something. This morning, today's show is really going to be a hot topic. I'm telling you, the phone lines should be ringing off the hook. We got a lot of stuff going on throughout the city of Chicago. We got a whole lot of stuff going on throughout the globe. And guess what? We're talking about it today. Two of our main topics today is we're talking about missing children, missing young ladies. And I'm going to tell you something, especially in the African American community, I'm still waiting on those Amber Alerts because I don't know what has to take place to have an Amber Alert when children are missing. I don't want to find out. What I would like to do is actually kind of get laws in place and kind of make sure that the people that need them are actually getting Amber Alerts. And I would like to see it done faster than what I'm seeing, than what I've been witnessing. Also, sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is so real. And I think that it's like this hidden taboo most people don't really kind of talk about. So I want to let the cat out the bag about sex trafficking. And I know I'm gonna really pee some people off. I'm gonna pee them off. That means piss. Pee for piss, y'all. I'm really gonna piss some people off with this one. But guess what? The cops killing young black men. And I want people to be open as to what you think about the cops killing African American men. But I want you to stand on both sides of the fence. I don't want it to just be one-sided because guess what? I've had an opportunity to talk to some cops as well. And, you know, we got some young black men that are disrespectful to the police officers. And some of the stuff, although it is really hard to say, they bring it on themselves. Now, there are some police officers that are crooked, that are, they get their Superman uniform on and they have no respect for the next man. And so I think they just demons with uniforms on. And they got a license to kill, and that's what they do. Mm-hmm. So it's always three sides to every story. It's my side, it's your side, and then it's the truth. Well, guess what? We want you guys to share your open, naked truth on today's show. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and kick this show off like we always do. We got Mr. James J. Hustle in the building.
Yeah, buddy.
We got Miss Monique.
Yeah, buddy.
It's okay to copy the right cat.
Oh, listen, try to make fun of me.
So James,
Yes,
listen
ma'am.
at this. What's going on, James? It's a wedding coming up. You just bought your girl a car. I ain't even seen the video, and I cried before I even seen the video.
Look, I bought her the car. All I want is a lace front beard. That's it. I have alopecia. I just want my facial hair. I look like a meatball. I'm too fat to be having no hair.
No. It ain't got to be lace front. They spray that stuff on. It be.
No, I ain't doing that spray. I ain't Eagle Man. I ain't do.
So you got to be lace front.
Shade.
No, but I seen some really nice ones.
No, I don't want that. Never mind. I keep my few strings. I ain't putting no paint on my face. I'm good.
You good?
You want paint? I don't want no paint.
No.
I'm fat. I sweat. I get hot. You don't want that stuff dripping down. Nah, you don't want that.
You want it. Monique, what's going on?
Life just been busy taking care of a few things. Care not to share.
Taking care. Okay.
We want to know what you've been taking care of.
Personal.
Okay, tell us the other stuff.
There's nothing else to tell.
Oh man.
You got personal stuff going on, right?
Y'all know I don't tell y'all nothing about me to these people on here.
Right. Okay. We ain't mad. Can't tell everything. So listen here, you guys. The phone lines are open because, again, today's show is really going to be a really interesting show. Oh, we got John here. For those of you guys that don't know who John is John was with us on the Kanika Jenkins case. You seen John everywhere. Matter of fact, you see John's been, John. Matter of fact, You on the show right now. Tell people like where you come from and what it is that you do, because I don't know, you know what? Matter of fact, you're on Facebook. I don't even know if we can see you on the show. But John, you've been with Kanika Jenkins case. We're gonna have some people come maybe call in, may have a few questions about, the Kanika Jenkins case. You think you can answer some questions? Best you can. Best you can.
That was an amazing moment, and I followed the Kanika Jenkins from the beginning to as far as I could. Okay. And now, just seeing where it's taken me, and I'm hanging out with Beer. And I'm a documentary photographer and filmmaker, a visual artist out here trying to tell stories of the real.
Trying to tell stories of the real. Well, guess what? I'm so honored to have you on the platform with us with Missing Please Come Home. So John is going to literally get in the trenches with us, and we're going to uncover some rocks, and he's going to be with us while we're, getting some of these young girls, out of sex trafficking, and literally talking to the parents to kind of let the cat out the bag about what really go on when your child is missing, and taking it from beginning to end. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. Sometimes we watch the tell live vision, and the tell live vision don't give us the full story. But what I like about the Cats Out, what I like about, people like James J. Hustle, that keep it real, and Martin G. Johnson, the crime chaser. These people tell the stories in their uncut, their unedited, their raw footage. And they take the most hits from people within the community, when actually we are people that have a heart for the community, and we're not out here, kind of making fun of people that's in the community or putting our people down. We're really bringing awareness so that each one can reach one and lift each other up. So again, let's get our phone lines open. I'm going to kick it right back off like I always do, right in James' hand. James, young girls, sex trafficking, runaway.
Okay, well, all right, let's put the phone number out first. You have any questions, concerns, whatever, 708-223-8953. Again, the number is 708-223-8953. Now, us as Black people, we have to realize that everything is not a racial issue. Let's start with the police. It used to be a racial issue back in the day, but nowadays it's not a racial issue. I feel as though, in my personal opinion, it's a position of power issue. Mm-hmm. It don't matter if you Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. A lot of these cops put on that uniform and they go out there to do good. But then you have a lot of cops out here that are only out here and they all about the money. They become greedy. Yeah. They robbing people. They doing everything that they shouldn't be doing as a law enforcement professional. So let's put that out there. And then as far as sex trafficking, a lot of us Black folks don't know what sex trafficking is. When Black people hear sex trafficking, you think of some other stuff. It's called pimping. These little girls are being pimped out. For you all that don't understand what sex trafficking is, it's the same thing as pimping. These little girls are being manipulated. They being sold. They are forced to have sex with people. They are, they are put in places where they feel as though that they mean something to somebody, and then that person turn on them, get them on drugs, and have them doing whatever they want them to do because they believe that this person or these people love them, when it's not true.
Also, don't forget that people don't know that you can die from being sex trafficked, oversexed.
Yeah,
people die from that.
Die from oversexed.
Being sexed.
You know what? That. I'm sorry. Why we talking about that? Did you all hear about the lady that basically sold her 2-year-old to 2 guys? They raped the little baby over and over for drugs. Now, you know what?
What was this?
I forgot what state it was. I'll get the information for you, but I saw it 2 days ago and I saw it yesterday. And it just pisses me off. How can you sell your child to somebody for drugs? Like, is it that serious? And a 2-year-old at that? Mm-hmm. Like, man, that just really pisses me off. But yeah.
And then I guess the real question is what? Oh, I got the flash somewhere. And then I guess the real question is, what type of creeps can we put under a rock that want to have sex with a 2-year-old? So that's the stuff that's getting me. And then even as we talk about sex trafficking, this is such a bigger topic than I think we can even imagine, because some of these girls are not just shipped from neighborhood to neighborhood. Some of these girls are sent off in different countries.
Yeah.
And it's done on such a high level that we find it difficult to look for young girls just from block to block. How do you think we bridge the gap when they've been sent to a whole nother country? And then on top of that, they're being drugged daily. We had a young lady, and I'm not gonna say names, but I followed this case up close and personal. And the young girl was given drugs from sun up to sundown, whether she wanted the drugs or not. And it was done by someone who had literally pretended if though they were a boyfriend via Snapchat, Instagram, social media. And she trusted this person to be her boyfriend only for the meetup to be a setup. Now, listen at this. It's not just done by young men. There are young women that are decoys.
Yeah.
And these young women are in the game. They're heartless, and they're really not your friend. Because what they do is they have the nicer, finer cars. They have the nice bodies. They're the ones that's twerking, shaking it. And they got the long, expensive hair. And then they start saying, oh, girl, man, you know what? I make this money easy. You got the look, girl. You know what? I'm your new best friend. Let's hang out. Look at my house. Look at my car. Look how I'm getting it. Girl, I got bank. I'm making $5,000 a day. Look at me. Oh, we come get some of this money, best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. And then the next thing you know, you go link up with your best friend only to find out that your best friend is actually your worst enemy.
One's closest to you set you up.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right.
And her only job in the game is to go out and recruit. But before you know it, young girl that was disobedient to her parent, young girl that your mama got too many rules. I'm 15 now. The fuck? I can't go outside when I want to? Man, G, she tripping. My mama. She all in my Facebook. She all on my Snapchat. She doing the most. I hate her.
But you know why they hate the mothers? I'm gonna put it on all the parents. These young girls and these young men are out here doing what they want to do because the parents are not being parents in the first place. The parents are out here trying to be their children's friend. Mm-hmm. And when they try to be their friends, they doing with them, they drinking with them, they getting high with them. And I'm talking about at a young age, we're talking about 9 and 10-year-olds getting high and drinking with their parents. And when they become of age legally, or almost legally, should I say, so when they become 15, 16 years old, now these parents no longer have control of their kids because their kids feel as though I've been doing what I want to do. You allow me to do what I want to do. You can't tell me what to do now. So they feel as though they grown and they get out here in these streets and they look for the money in the streets. They look for the friends in the streets. And that's how they get caught up in the rapture. They meet these guys or these other young women that they call their best friends and they kicking it with them. They driving in their nice cars, but now they want what they got. And they say, you know what? I'm gonna help you get this. Next thing you know, they getting drunky with each other. They end up getting them high. Then they bring these guys in. Now these guys are having sex with them. Oh, it's okay, girl. Let him do what he do. We gonna get this money. The whole time you think these other females are your best friends, they pimping you out and you don't even know it.
I'm gonna tell you something. The worst type of social media is IG. Because there's so many Instagram models, so-called models, but they really prostitutes.
Yeah.
And they are really on there all dolled up. And then they got these lollipops. They making money off of this and off of that. It's all a front for prostitution. That's why those 2 twins recently just got locked up. They met that man in that hotel and he died. He died from trying to have sex with them. And then they robbed him, took all his credit cards and all of that stuff. And now they finna probably face 20 years for that, even though they didn't kill him. But they was there and they robbed the man and they was there for prostitution.
They was
on the Bad Girls Club, these 2 girls.
And you know what? And here's the thing, because I do understand how there are parents out here that are not good parents. I do understand that. And I understand that a lot of children, they look at what their parent is doing at home, mainly the mother, because you can't be a, a bad mother by day and then want to turn to a good mom by night when the examples that you've set for your children have all been bad examples. However, there are good mothers out here. There
Yeah.
are mothers out here that teach their children to respect authority. There are mothers out here that monitor their children's friends. They monitor their children's grades. They take these kids to church on Sundays and then sometimes on Wednesdays. And the social media outlet, the cell phones, the television, and the music that has literally poisoned our children get into the soul of them and take control. So, as a parent, you still losing a battle because the system is not always on your side. So, for example, I see the corruptness, corruption that's going on the television. Now, we ain't watching TV. My children don't even have TVs in their room. They've never had televisions. We got one TV. Well, we got two in the house, but literally one that runs. And the other ones, it run from time to time. If we're going to watch a family movie or something like that. Other than that, my children do not watch unsupervised TV. Never have. And my oldest, well, I shouldn't say my oldest, but my now one, she's 13, and then my 7-year-old. But even my 20-year-olds, my 20-year-old and 31-year-olds never watched unsupervised TV. Now, the music, I'm finding it a little bit hard to keep a handle over because they do have cell phones. And I found out that my 7-year-old and my 13-year-old know some songs. I'm like, how y'all know them songs? Know it word for word. And then I started listening to the words and I'm like, oh my God. Let me educate you because I know I can't keep you in a box and send you out into the and expect for you to function. So I need them to be street savvy as well as have a mother with, as my mother would call it, type of sense. So I allow them to listen, but I have to educate them on what's really going on because it ain't nothing worse than a smart dummy. You got book smarts, but the street will eat you up.
Yep.
So again, it's always those three sides to every story. I do understand that there are parents, y'all reckless out here, your kids reckless out here, and y'all a reckless mess as a result of. But then on the flip side of that, there are parents out here that do what they can do for their children, but they still find themselves in the wicked spider web. What do we do about that? How do we bridge that gap? That's the big question. James, go ahead. I see you thinking.
No, the only thing I was going to say, you can raise your child to the best of your ability.
Mm-hmm.
But once your child becomes a certain age and they're around certain people, you can't really stop that unless you're homeschooling them, because you can raise your child just how you want them to. They can act exactly how you want them to. But once they get into grammar school and high school, they have different influences around them. And it's no longer really peer pressure. It's more of a follow the leader type thing because nobody forcing them to do it. They watching what's going on around them and what they think is cool. Now that's what they want to become. Kind of like, okay, I'll use an example. Champion, the clothing line.
Yeah.
It was at Walmart, right? At first, it was a mainstream. Then it was at Walmart.
No, I went to Payless.
Yeah, it was at Payless too. It was at Payless and Walmart. Nobody wanted to wear Champion. And if you wore it, they talked about you so bad. It made you feel so hurt. You felt as though you had to do whatever you had to do in the streets to get these $1,000 jeans that they wearing. So now, I don't know who decided to start wearing Champion again, but now everywhere you look, everybody's wearing Champion. Why can't people just be themselves or have their own styles? We have to teach our children that it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to have your own personality. It's okay to not follow your friends and do what your friends do, because you may put on something and your friends may talk about you, but the next thing you know, your friends want to wear what you wear and they want to do what you're doing. Have your own style.
That's it. And that's the whole reason. And that's the whole reason that I teach my children that, and you can ask them, we're not into name brand. Our name brand in our household is Cats Outwear. So we're constantly creating looks and t-shirts and different outfits that we can put the Cats Out logo on. We're creating our own brand. My children are the ones that dress like they want to dress, because I build them up from the inside first, longer before anything on the outside has you build them up on the inside, and the outside automatically becomes what the inside is. So in other words, whether my kids got on Champions or trampolines, they know who they are from the inside, and they don't allow anybody to penetrate them, because I put such a strong force from the inside, and we do that from birth. I'm gonna tell you another problem that I'm seeing.
It's hard out here, though, Vera, because it's so hard, because we do the most for these kids. When our backs are turned, you have no idea. They are facing more than you even can imagine. They can tell you one thing, but when they get away from you, it's a whole different ball game. I'm going through that right now. I can't believe the stuff I'm dealing with. I can't believe it, because I know what I installed. And it's hard. It's hard for a lot of these parents. We do what we can.
And that's all we can do. Yeah. And you know what? And let me say this. It's all we can do. But I am a strong believer is that once you've done all you can do, you got to take your hand off at some point, because it's just like a flower. It's you plant the seed, and and what comes up is going to come up. Right. And even though they go to the left or go to the right, the core self is still who it is. It ain't nothing we can do about that.
I do believe they find themselves their way back.
They find a way back.
They find their way back after they try stuff, though. I will say that.
Now, here's my question. Because right now, we still got young girls that are missing. We still got young girls that either ran away from home because they felt like the grass was greener on the other side. We still got young girls that not only have they run away from home, they still don't want to come back home. Some of these young girls, again, some of them come back alive. Some of them they find and they have to put them in body bags. I need people to come in, and I need you guys to call in. Martin G. Johnson, the number is posted. You guys call in. Let us hear your questions. Let us hear your comments about what we could actually do, or what do you think the problem is concerning sex trafficking, missing children. Also, we're still talking about the police and what's going on in the Chicago area and around the world.
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Call in.
Us as women need to do. I know we go through a lot with some of these men we have been with that we chose to be with, and then we get mad at them. I have done it myself. But at some point, you got to let that go and let them men try to help out with their kids, because they need the other parent. And some of us think we so strong. Oh, I got this. No, we do not have this. They need the other parent also. They missed that. And so that's a start too.
I totally
let
agree.
that go and let these men get in their kids' lives and stop making it all about money.
Yeah, stop making it about money. Everybody, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It truly does. The child needs the mother and the father, and the child also needs the grandparents. The child needs the cousins. Everybody that's a good influence. If somebody loves your child and they are willing to teach your child the right things, they are willing to be there for your child, then allow that person to do so, because there's so many people out here that will not even help your child, that they don't care about what's going on in your life or anything like that. If somebody is willing to help your child and be there in their life, allow them to do that.
Allow them to do that. And that's the other thing. That's another one of my pet peeves. These people whom you found some problem with the baby daddy. Now, mamas, I'm talking to y'all. And because you found fault with the baby daddy, now all of a sudden, he can't be baby daddy. And you allow everybody to get in your business and to become an influence between keeping that man out of his child's life. I guarantee you that child grows up and you become one of their worst enemies because a little girl, ask that, a little girl really want to spend time with her daddy. Get people out of your business.
Mm-hmm.
Cat South Show, Jay Hustle speaking. State your name and where you're calling from.
My name's Alicia, and I'm calling from Alabama, but I'm from Chicago.
Put a mic. Okay, go ahead, Alicia. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me make sure we can hear you. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. I wanted to comment as far as saying it takes two parents, like some of the children in Chicago. Like I have 5 children, and we all from Chicago. And my son graduated from Julian, and I just moved out of Chicago just to give them a chance because I've seen how bad it was living with the violence and everything. But like these children is like missing their father. That's where it really stems from. They want the attention for far as their father, and the father is not around, and they're not doing anything. So it's like hard for the mothers to cope with their children. They get out in the streets and the peer pressure and everything, it has them doing other things. You know, even if we put it in their head, like, you know, do this the right way, they gonna go their way. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard or whatever. But that's all I really wanted to say.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you for calling in, and we appreciate your comment. Thanks so much.
All right.
Okay. And you know what? She absolutely right. James, I agree with her 100%. Monique.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying.
Mm-hmm. And again, these young girls want the love and affection of a man so bad that they find themselves running away, looking for love in all of the wrong places. Or I'm gonna take you guys a step further. Some of them may not run away. We got young girls that are being snatched up and that's being manipulated and that's being preyed upon through these people that are in Walmart parking lots. These pedophiles that's watching the schools. That's why it takes a community. If something don't look right, report it. Let me tell you something. I keep all eyes on deck concerning mine. I try very, very hard not to get them out my sight. The word says you better watch as well as pray. So I pray all day without ceasing, but I'm always watching. I'm watching out of my 2 eyes, a third eye, and I know God gave me an eye in the back of my head because I see things. I'm looking like I'm all around you, boo.
To get off topic, everybody need to watch themselves because these days there is no age limit. It's no age limit. They want the men, grown men. They want grown women. People are that sick. We all got to just be careful.
Yeah. Well, I keep a little meat on my bone because I'm like, well, they probably gonna be like, no, she got like 3 stomachs and a double chin. No, we ain't messing with her. We want those so that
we like the double chin. I like the stretch marks. No man won't no bone.
Trying to pick up no sticks out here now.
Look, man, them stretch marks ain't nothing but a roadmap to paradise. I'm gonna just say that right there.
Some sticks out here.
It's the Cats Out Show. Go ahead, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello.
Yeah, state your name and where you calling from.
How you doing, man? This is Edward from Cicero. I heard you guys were talking about with the shootings and all that in Chicago. The cop shot that young man the other day.
Yeah.
My question is this, man. And I grew up messed up neighborhoods my whole life. Is that, I mean, to me that was a clean shooting, even though it was messed up. Another young man gets killed. Is that what happens when this happens, and 2 days later or a day later, more people are getting killed down the block, and then nobody seems to care. That's what hurts me the most about living in the city. And all that is like, we only care if the cops do that. Why is that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I swear I just said that last night.
It bothers me a lot because it's like, I'm Mexican. My wife's African American. We have mixed children. We have everything, you know what I'm saying? As far as like the fear of the cops, I don't fear the cops, man. I personally don't feel like they're out. Now, does injustice happen? Hell yeah. But I think these streets are hot as hell.
Yeah.
And I see that somebody gets shot And if a cop does it, everybody comes out. F the police, this and that, this and that. I mean, sure enough, I'm not sitting there calling the gangbangers when something's happening. We call the cops. Now, when we kill each other, no one says nothing. And I believe it's because it's our cousins, our brothers, our aunts and uncles, whatever. We don't want them to get locked up, so we don't say nothing. But nobody really addresses that.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask you a question,
Sure.
and if you could answer it, how much you think the kids make, and how much you think the cops make
Money-wise?
off the street? Yep, money wise.
Well, I know cops make over 85 grand, I think. The kids, if you're selling weed and all that, you're not really making big money. Only a few guys are making the big money.
You know what, Edward? I agree with you. I'll say this. I have a relative in the drug game. That's their business. I don't deal with it. That's their business. But from what this person is telling me, the guys that he pay out here, they can make more money at McDonald's part-time and get benefits. So it's no more money in the streets. It's not like
So
it
there's
was
no
back
money
in the day.
in the drug game.
They playing follow
No.
the leader out here. You
Not
can make
like
more
that.
money at McDonald's.
Unless you pushing that weight.
You got to be
Yeah,
kidding me.
if you not selling bricks, then you not making no money. So they out there risking their life for nothing. They following their friends because they think it's cool. And what
Let
I
me
have
tell you what. I'm sorry.
No,
Let
go
me
ahead.
tell you what the insight I have on that type of stuff is that these guys are doing well if they have enough money to buy a fit and new gym shoes.
there it
But
is.
they have no money to take care of a child because they're not making money like that. There is no money like that. Conception when people think, oh man, big drug dealers, we're making all this money, we got fancy cars. They don't. They have knocked off clothes on. They got maybe $50, $60 in the pocket. Now they'll take a picture holding $3 grand of the buy money, whatever.
Yeah,
but
the
when they
buy money.
die, what are these GoFundMe accounts? We can't even afford to bury these young guys.
Now let me say this, because how does this relate to the topic as far as sex trafficking and the missing young girls? Because
I thought you said comments.
no. You right on point. You so on point. Thank you. Let me tell you how this relates. Because these are the same young men that are on Instagram, that's on Facebook with the $3,000 and the nice outfit on and the iPhones that these young girls are looking at saying, oh, we. And then that's how they're being tricked. And then some of these guys, they're the gangbangers. Because what we're starting to see here, especially in the Chicago area, is that the young girls that's missing are coming. A lot of them are with gangbangers. They with the guys that's on the social media holding the wild.
But you know what, Vera?
So that's the trick. Thank you. You are so on point.
I
Thank
also
you.
have another thing
Thank
to
you.
say. My thing is too, when people
Have a
want
good
to,
day.
when people want to go out here and protest when the police shoot somebody, how come we can't go over Frank's house and protest his ass when he shot his neighbor? We should do that too.
Well, that's
And
what
that's
we
what-
know. Frank shot his neighbor. But guess what? I'm also starting to see that some of these crimes are not solved. So we just assume that Frank shot his neighbor. But what about the black SUV that came down the block that could have actually pulled the trigger? But because Frank and his neighbor was beefing, you automatically assume
No, they
that
doing
Frank
it.
shot his neighbor. So in some cases, it's not always black on black. Now I know in a lot of cases it is, but I'm saying that we get pinned for all of the murders that go on within the community. What about the ones that?
I'm not saying
ain't nobody had it no more. They doing this stuff in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Right, and they doing it because ain't nobody gonna tell.
But see,
Okay.
the thing
There
is,
ain't no
people
ride
know
down
who
the street
doing
no
it.
more.
Don't nobody want to say nothing until it's one of their
Right.
relatives that get killed. Then all of a sudden they want justice. Now you know what? I'm gonna just say it. I said I didn't want to talk about this, and I didn't want to talk about the police killing that young man. But the whole truth is, let's start from the beginning of what he said. A lot of these guys out here selling drugs, they selling dope to do dope. You see what I'm saying? So they'll sell rocks and blows and heroin and everything like that just so they can pop pills that has more of a negative effect on their brain cells than this dope and this heroin does.
Mhm.
See what I'm saying? So they working to get high. They out there because they want to be out there following their friends. That's one. But two, when you said that the killings in the neighborhood and it's always a dark SUV, in my personal opinion, and I got a target on my back already. When I feel as though they say it's a dark SUV, I feel as though those are crooked police officers that are out here assassinating rivals in the neighborhood because other rivals have paid them.
Right.
3, just like he said, police kill somebody. Everybody want to run out and protest. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but why the hell is it that we can't go out there and do the same protests at the same energy when we know it's a black man killing another black man out here?
Right.
Now, with the protests, I don't even get involved in it because 40% of the people that are out there are on the front lines and they truly care about what's going on. They out there for a positive reason. Then the other 30, but that's 40%. 30% are out there just to follow the crowd. Mine did that too. They out here to follow the crowd just to see what's going on. They want to be a part of that group. Then the other percentage that you have left, those are people that are not out there for positive reasons. Those are cowards. They in the back. While you on the front line, you protesting and you want positive things, you want change. You got these cowards in the back throwing bricks and bottles. And when they throw these bricks and bottles, the police start attacking the ones on the front lines. See what I'm saying? So these cowards are in the back doing all of this dirt just because they there to start crap. But then you get hurt.
And let me say this, because people are like, Vera, what's going on? Your cell phone. Because whenever we hold these types of topics, cell phones and receptions just start going out.
Yeah.
So expect it to freeze. But what I want you guys to do is every time it unfreeze, share the video. Because guess what? We're going to clip them all together because the message is going to go forward.
Oh, they will shut you down. Now, okay, I want to say this. They messing with your signal. They was just messing with mine. My YouTube I had for 15 years. When I started talking about the things going on in the neighborhood, now my YouTube completely gone. My Instagram completely gone. I had people cursing me out for the past few days saying, why did I delete them off of Facebook when I didn't delete anybody? So
I went through that already.
will screw you up. When you talking about something that could actually make a change in your neighborhood that's positive, forces beyond they will shut you down or try their best to shut you down. I don't care what nobody say.
I got people right now that's been deleted off of my Facebook page, blocked and missing. And it was so many people by the hundreds that they literally thought that I did it. Some of them still thinking. I'm going to let them think what they think. Then I have people in my inbox message right now saying, Vera, every time I go to try and watch your video, it's always a black picture. I don't get any notifications when you go live anymore. I can't watch your videos. It's just a black screen. And somebody just asked me just now, did you block me from seeing your Facebook? I'm like, if you block, I don't know nothing about it.
I told you.
I didn't even know you could block people from doing that.
When I said that months ago, everybody thought I was just crazy. I was just saying something. But my social media accounts are being tampered with. I could say something about sex. Hold on. Cat's Out Show, 1 second, please. I could talk about sex. I get 1 million likes. It's on there. It don't go nowhere. I could talk about anything. It don't go nowhere. But when you start talking about how to save lives, or you start talking about the things that are actually going on in the community, where the guns are coming from off of these trains, when you start talking about things like that, that's when the interference comes.
That's when it comes.
Somebody wanted me to say this. They asked my opinion about the young man that got killed. Do I think it was justified? I'm not really going to say that. All I'm going to say is when he reached for that gun, in my personal opinion,
or his wallet,
he committed suicide. We already have a target on our young black men. We have a target on our damn back. So why would you give somebody the opportunity to do something? When he reached for that gun, if it was me, I would have shot him too.
But let me say this. See, we assuming because we don't have the audio. And without audio, I could have been saying, James, give me a piece of gum out of your pocket. Well, if you got a gun now, I'm automatically saying he going for the gun. Or I could have said, show me your ID. And because you're going for your wallet, he going for the gun. Then on top of that, I've seen how real men that's already going through what they going through. You a man in the morning, you a man at night. And then you got other women, talking to you like you some chump on the street. Or you got other men coming at you and you're looking like, man, dude, what's really wrong with you? I'm a man before I'm anything else. Stop stepping to me incorrect. And because you feel like you got some rights, you may be a little bit uptight already. Here these chumps come and this broad, here you come messing with me. Go somewhere and sit down. You targeting me. I don't feel like playing with you today.
They will bait you. They
bait you.
They will bait you. But all I'm saying is hold on,
I'm
not gonna say the person name. Like somebody was just saying that's in the building. How do we know they weren't trying to rob him? We don't. And then all those officers on the scene, you mean to tell me that the audio from every camera, no audio? So that's BS.
That's BS.
But from what they showing on the video, maybe what they want you to see. Now, from what I saw, why the man know how to draw. He was reaching for the gun. I don't know why he did. He could have been reaching to defend himself. He could have got shot first, like the person in the building said. We don't know where the first shots came from.
Hand me your gun. We don't know.
From that, I ain't going with that. But I have a concealed carry. I ain't gonna draw.
Gun.
It could be anywhere around.
Yeah. Guest House Show. State your name. You calling from? Hello.
State your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You.
Hi, my name is Desiree. I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. Go ahead with your stop.
And I'm calling on all of the various subjects that you were talking about. The shooting of our men now and women. But I am in agreement also that we still have to deal with genocide. I look at genocide as something that we do not address as much as we should. But yes, when the police do take a life, we come out, we rah, 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 and then we calm down. But genocide has been going on for years. So what do we do about that?
Well, you know what we do about that? Is first of all, we have to be awakened to understand that that's what's going on. And then the first thing and the only thing that we can do is start in our own backyards. So start with the way that you're treating the people that's in your household. Then start with treating the things that you are doing on your block or in your community. And then start with the way that you're handling things in your churches or organizations. And if we all take a look in the mirror and physically make a change ourselves, by default, we all start changing. And that's the only way that it's going to happen. It's like, what can I do to make a difference? Exactly. Because I don't care how you look at it. You one or two. You either part of the problem or you part of the solution.
Part of the solution.
It is no other way. There is nothing else in between that. Yep. So,
and I also believe that the village mentality, like you said, how you are with your children in your home, I still believe that the village mentality still exists. I raised my children with the village mentality. You know how we had to be lamppost kids. By the time that light came on, we were on our porch. Most likely by 9 o'clock, we were in our beds. The TVs were off. You do have too many young ladies out here that are friends with their mothers instead of their mothers teaching them how to be women. I'm trying to address everything. We do have women out here also with men when it comes to the point of a man doesn't want to be with a woman. So they then withhold the child, and that can be for child support or just because they want a man with them and they don't want to be alone. But so the child suffers. As far as the young men now and women that we have that are disappearing, we have a problem with slavery is still going on. Slavery is still real. Yeah. They're taking our young ones for their organs, and they're taking them basically to work. So there's so many different things, and the Most High, the devil is very busy. And if we don't keep the Most High first, things are going to continue to get worse. Prayer and faith, family strength, family bonds, they have to be strengthened or, oh God, our demise. That's what I just think about. And it makes you want to cry because the reality of the things that we're seeing on TV are in our homes now. They're in our homes.
And I'm going to tell you, when you get through crying, it makes you want to let your cat out the bag. So
Lord.
cats out, kingdom all time seekers, because that's why this platform and that's why this show and what we do here is bigger than us. Because as we're
Yes.
letting the cat out the bag, it's
Out
about
of the
kingdom.
bag.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else is going to be added. So, sister, I appreciate your comment. You're on point. Thank you for calling. Now, let me say to the
And I
people,
thank you for this show. I
no,
thank you.
no problem. Meow, the cats are out. Now, let me say
Yes.
to the reason that I say, Mr. or Mrs. Dream come true. The reason that I say that you got to start in your own house or in your own backyard first is because if you're fighting in your house, if you're bickering in your house, and if the biggest fight is in your backyard, please don't bring that to the community because the community already have enough nonsense in it. So you have to get your house in order first. Get your backyard clean first. Because if you are distraction in your house, if you are a disaster in your backyard, then that spills into the street, and we got too much of that already. Now, once you got your own backyard in order, then take it to the community, take it to the street. And until then, please don't come out your house. Don't bring your messy butt out your house. Caller.
Cat South Show. Jay Hustle speaking. State your name and where you calling from.
Yeah, this is David Peace. I'm all the way in Fort Worth, Texas.
All right.
Don't mess with Texas.
I've been following James Hawthorne, and I'm proud of you for showing up the issues in y'all community.
I love that accent. I'm sorry.
James Hawthorne.
And I'd like to give y'all kudos for y'all putting a great effort in. But this situation we got is out of control because we have lost our biblical standing as Black people. We're letting our kids run loose and rampant, and it just we having a controversy because the government has figured out a way that they think we should raise our kids, and they took the power away from the parent for discipline, the rod. And so now we're in a controversy now where it's just kids watching too much video, and they got too much freedom and too much access. But that's going to be further and further negative because as time go on, it's going to get greater and greater.
Yeah.
So really, basically, more Black men have to step up, and that's about it. That's the only thing going to fix this problem.
I agree with you. I believe in discipline. I truly believe in discipline. A matter of fact, I don't want to assume, but I'm quite sure everybody at this table has been disciplined. Did it make you better or did it make you worse?
And you know what? And discipline comes in a number of different forms because I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I got family members on here that's going to be like, her butt show didn't. I didn't get whoopings. My mother did not whoop me and she did not punish me. I've been able to speak my mind freely. Even if adults was talking, I was not the child that said grown folks talking. Go sit your butt down. You don't speak when grown folks talking. My mother allowed me to speak whenever I had something to say. And if she was talking to a grown person and I came and said, Mom, she like, what is it, babe? She was going to acknowledge me because my mother, that's just what it is. Because my mama acknowledged that whatever it is I'm talking about, what my child is saying is more important. Now, she also taught me that if you don't have nothing to say, keep your damn mouth closed. So I knew when to open my mouth and when to interrupt my mother because what I was saying was of importance. I got two out there right now. I'll bring them in here. They don't know nothing about no whoopings. I don't whoop them. They ain't never been whooped. And they are the same type of kids I am. If it's something that's going on and they know that it is of importance, they're going to be like, Mom, I wouldn't care nothing about the Cats Out show. Let me tell you what's going on out here.
Because I don't believe discipline is always physical, not at first. I believe discipline should only be used if absolutely necessary. I feel as though you should talk to your child. You should teach your child. And when you teach them, then they gain that respect for you. It's certain levels to it. I mean, but talking doesn't always work. But if you're doing it the right way, then it works. But when they start to become of age, or should I say teenagers, bless you, then things get a little bit different. But like you say, it was points where we didn't get whoopings. Now, when we got a little older and we knew that line, you knew that line that you shouldn't cross. Sometimes we crossed that line, didn't know it, and you got your butt popped in the mouth. Now, that's different. My parents didn't beat on me with no sticks or extension cords, but they put a belt to my ass when I needed it.
Because if you spare a rod, you spoiled a child. And you said the right thing when you needed it. But if I can tell you something and you and I don't have to keep telling you the same thing over and over and over again because you get it, then I don't have to beat you to get it in your head. And so what we have to get out of the slave mindset and that we got to beat somebody. No. See, you ain't got to beat nothing into these kids because
only if necessary.
Right. You whoop their hands.
Like if you got a 15-year-old that's 6'3" and he get out of line and he want to fight, then you know what, son, I'm gonna beat your ass like a.
Well, he need his ass beat because he done stepped to you. He out of line.
But you know what was the harshest form of discipline me besides the belt, because sometimes the belt didn't hurt, but you just cried just because. You know what scared you more than the belt? That look. Your mama did that look. You knew what that look was. She ain't have to put her hands on. She just did that look. That look. I can't show you what the look was because everybody got the look. It was the look.
And I'm gonna tell you this too, because I know I got mamas all around the globe that I could scream, I could fuss, and I even curse. And my kids would take their time like whatever. But they daddy, he can just say something in a very low tone one time and they moving. And I'm looking like, did Jesus just speak? Because I'm around here screaming to the top of my lungs. Or I got to ask you something 4-5 times and you act like you don't understand nothing I'm saying. But then your daddy can whisper and everybody running. And I'm trying to figure out, and that's why I say it is important that women understand how we need to keep these men in these little girls' lives. And just because you having petty differences, get out that man business in the relationship with his daughter. Because then when you need him, then you're going to be telling he a deadbeat dad. No, he ain't deadbeat. He was just tired of your butt and your messiness. You so messy that now you done caused a generational curse that done triggered down from your mama. Because your mama done taught you how to be messy. Now you messy and your kid is rebellious and they gonna do the same thing to their kid. Somebody got to break the generational curse.
I don't care what some woman did to some man. He got to be still smart enough to try to fight for his own child.
Well, if
he allowed that to go other ways, he's stupid. And that's just what it is.
And I'm not taking up for men because some of them are stupid. Some men need to keep on fighting. But guess what? And I'm saying this, I'm going on record, write it, don't take a picture of it. Men, they play hard, they play strong, but the only reason why the woman bears the child and carry that child for 9 months, and if she's fortunate enough, can literally push him and her out of the canal, is because the woman has a strength that a man will never have. Never. And so, the bond and the relationship between the mother and the child starts long before it starts with the father. That has to be developed. And when you constantly plant a seed of negativity, when you planting a seed of dysfunction, even that man, he don't know nothing because he come from the same woman. Maybe not you, but you understand he come from a woman. So I can't blame the men all the time. I blame the heads, which is the women. but y'all understand what I'm saying. Because it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm not acting like men are not strong. I respect the kings. Matter of fact, I understand it. But I'm just talking about what I'm talking about with all the respect for men.
Some of them just need to fight a little harder than what they do. I guess they get tired of fighting all the time with people, but they have to keep doing it. Can't give up.
You do get tired of fighting, yeah, but then when you take them to court, then it's an issue. I'm not gonna speak on that yet because I'll tell y'all that later. That might be another topic.
Yeah. So again, you guys, we have a problem. And our problem, even with the missing children, the sex trafficking, and cops killing young men in the community, is all tied up. it all tied up, because if you get rid of these powerful men, either by putting them in prison or either by killing them off, who's going to protect our women? Who's going to protect our women? And if we become part of the system, the one thing that they do in the system is they get the man out the house by any means necessary. So you got to get out of the system and create your own system. Do what we have to do as women to uplift our men. Do what we need to do as women to penetrate a relationship with the man, if whether we're with them or not, and save our young girls that's giving birth to other young men. It's just a cycle. And the police that come into the community, shame on your corrupt police. But even more so than the corrupt police, shame on the ones that's not corrupt. And you know who the corrupt police are, because y'all know, and you're not saying anything. And shame on the women that's in the house that's sex trafficking with your child, that's smoking drugs with your child, and that's allowing your son to be gangbangers. You know, Ray got guns under his bed and he's shooting his neighbor's kids. He's shooting the neighbor's kids. And you know that he's selling drugs because you smoke it with him. Shame on you, because you guys are part of the problem. But on the flip side of that, I'm going to lift my hat to the ones that's out here trying to make a difference, to the ones out here that's doing what you can do to bridge the gap. Because at the end of the day, when we solve the problem with our missing young ladies, when we educate our missing young ladies, and when we stop sex trafficking, we're going to by default save a world. I believe it. I believe it, because it's all tied in together. And we're not wrestling with flesh and blood. This is spiritual wickedness from higher places. So you just can't come into this battlefield half. You got to come in here with what you got. Only do what you can do, because if you do more than what you can do, then you're doing too much. But you better do something, or you part of the problem. It's just that simple.
A lot of people James, part of the problem. Man, you got women out here gang banging harder than the dudes do. It's no longer like it used to be a certain way. Now it goes both ways. Men are pimping, women are pimping. Men are sex trafficked, women are sex trafficked. Men gang banging, women gang banging. So what the hell do you do? But one thing I'm tired of is people making excuses and getting mad when a white man or a police officer kill one of us. Now, is it always justified? Hell no, it's not justified. But my thing is, if you have that energy to protest and want to fight and burn things down when a police officer or a white man kills one of us, then have that same damn energy when Ray killing Pookie. Have that same energy when your kids out here doing what they ain't got no business doing. Right. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can hate me for it if you want to, but I'm going to speak my mind.
I agree.
Everybody should be held responsible. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Catch out show, Jay Hustle speaking. State your name and where you calling from.
No police stuff.
Hello.
State your name and where you calling from.
Hi, my name is Franzina and I'm calling from the Bronx, New York.
All right.
I've been watching various lives since the Kanika Jenkins case. And it did touch me at that time. I was very touched. But when I see the killings that's going on in Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, I was so angry when I watched it live the other day that the whole town, the whole city wasn't out there with y'all. Because if they're killing y'all black boys like that, these cops are not even from y'all communities. They're coming from other places to come police the people in Chicago, and there wasn't enough outrage and anger. And no, you don't have to use violence for everything. But what I wanted to see was those people, if they lay down out there, start a hunger strike. Don't open your mouth, because they don't want that blood on their hands. You know, if enough people get out there in front of that precinct and everybody just lay down in silence, silence is golden. They can stop this, because they have no right to come in the neighborhood and kill up our sons like that. I have 2 boys. And it made me so angry to see how they are killing up these boys. You know, they was doing it in New York at one time. But now it's in Chicago. The girls are missing. You know, and I watch these lives and I sit and it breaks my heart that the people are not outraged enough. You know, put the drugs down and stuff. Stop killing each other and help one another. Like you said, support black businesses. There's so much more that can be done. The people have to
Sweetheart,
come out. They have to help.
I hate to break it to you, but it's been going on in every city and every state. The only difference is we have cameras now in social media, so it gets around. And also, how do you feel about these black men killing each other? I mean, you speaking on the police, and I understand, but what about us killing us?
It's not.
It starts at home. It starts at home.
Standing outside because
Ain't no hunger strikes gonna work.
They are doing the killing.
Hunger strikes ain't gonna work.
We be protesting stuff that we are doing.
Caller, all the way from the Bronx.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Very good point, and we're gonna talk about it more. But listen at this, you guys. It's
9
the cat.
times out of 10, when
We on
they kill, the
Intellectual
killers
Radio.
are standing right there in the
We
crowd
on
watching the scene be
iHeartRadio.
processed.
And we on Facebook Live
Many a
times. And we did it another week from our heart. We just officially let the cat out the bag.
Big city lights, big city dreams. It's the sound of a city that wastes me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling, that something's going